Well, thanks for taking the time to do this, Kealii, man. I appreciate it. Hang on.
Absolutely, no worries at all.
Kealii, what's up, brother?
Yes. What's up, Dylan?
I've been enjoying
Hey, you sounded super Islander just now.
It's because I am, brother. I like the island.
Oh, really?
Yes. Look at my body.
Okay, let me walk outside. That way I can hear you better.
Look at my body, brother. My body's all punk, Samoan.
Samoan pride.
My body,
I didn't know how much. I didn't know how much Polynesians we had here in San Diego until I actually came on. I'm like, oh wow, okay, what's up, cuz?
There's tons, brother. There's tons up here in the Bay Area too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You're training in San Diego right now?
Yeah, I'm training. I'm training over at Game Bread right now, Game Bread Training Center, and also Undisputed.
But you just flew in, or you've been there for a little while?
I've been here since Monday. I drove in on Monday.
Where are you living right now?
I live in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Ah, okay. I thought you were living on the islands.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
It's a lot warmer. It's a lot warmer there than here.
How long has it been since you've been on the islands?
About 2 years. It was for an unfortunate, a family member I lost. And yeah, that was the only time I've been back. But yeah, it was super unfortunate.
Yeah. I saw that video. That video you're talking about on IG?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very touching, brother. Very touching. You know, it's I'll tell you what, man. It's when real men understand real men's pain, it's a beautiful thing, you know, because not a lot of people understand the pain of a man. Everyone thinks we're just supposed to be hard and tough and mean, and you know, you certainly are, but it's a beautiful thing when a man can understand a man's pain, triumphs, you know, the struggle, because and you understand this, brother, coming from Hawaii and then coming out here, sometimes it's a different breed of man. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm lucky that I got a friend like the Viking here and a bunch, and the rest of our crew that are really good men, you know? Nice. And I from your IG, I felt that from you. Like, this is a good ass dude, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Totally agree.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, please continue.
The trials and tribulations makes the man into who you are nowadays, right? And, you know, I'm grateful for every lesson that I've been through, regardless of the situation and whatever I've been through at that moment. But now it built a better person and also a better foundation for not myself, but also the upcoming generation. And that's what matters the most to me. You know?
Well, you're a big influence, right? And you're going to be a better, because I see your IG, bro, and I see the way you fight. You just need all that exposure. You know?
Absolutely.
All you need is that exposure. Win or lose this weekend, bro. I think you're in LA, bro. You're in LA, bro.
Yeah. I actually, you know what? I moved to LA in 2019 after the volcanic eruption on the Big Island. Okay. And that's what actually forced me to actually move away. And it kind of sucked because, you know, it's just like you could feel the doom and gloom and the loss of life and everything that was happening in that situation. And I felt like, okay, there was more to it for me in order to go out there and adventure and solidify my passion, which is mixed martial arts, and utilize that platform. That way I can come back and be like, hey guys, what's up? Like, let's build awareness for Big Island, and not just Big Island, but the rest of the islands. You know, there's Maui that's going through that devastation of what had happened. And that's what I care about the most, is that, you know?
Yeah. So you moved to Scottsdale when?
I moved to Scottsdale in 2021.
Okay.
And I moved from downtown LA. So it was more of a culture shock for me being from the islands, moving to, you know what I mean, right? I went straight from the island straight to Studio City in Hollywood. And everything there was like, you know, cutthroat, or if you know someone, this and that. And if you do talk to someone, the next thing you know is you turn your back and you got a knife in your fucking back. Yeah. That's just what it was. but
Well,
it was a culture shock for me, you know?
well, brother, that's the thing that I'm talking about when we talk about men. Men understand each other.
Correct.
When you get around these people that don't have honor, don't have word, it's so difficult, you know, especially coming from a Hawaiian culture, you know, because every Hawaiian brother that I know from everywhere, man, it's just a different breed of man.
It's like 100% true. You know, yeah, my martial arts background is Hawaiian style jujitsu. You know,
Oh, wow.
yeah, like I do Danzanru for, 20 years. It's, very similar Kajukenbo. It's like small circle stuff, very traditional, but that Hawaiian, I've been to many seminars with these Hawaiian instructors, and yeah, that's the ethics, the brotherhood. You can just tell it's a very different sort of environment, the culture you guys breed out there. And your opponent, Jake, it's like, I just want to thank you for stepping up, because this guy, he's a solid dude. I mean, you guys are going to go to war. I'm sure once the cage door closes, there won't be any friends, but you got a real good opponent, a respectful guy.
So let me touch bases on that part, because I respect my opponent 100%. I respect him to, like to the highest level of being a mixed martial artist, right?
Yeah.
And it goes deeper from when I used to grow up in Hawaii, and it was like more of a competitive thing. It was like Pohoa, which I'm from, and then it was Hilo, which BJ Penn is from. And then it was Kona side, and White Claw, I believe, ended up coming into the mix after when they opened up a gym there, I believe. But it was district against district. And it's funny because it goes back into history. Hawaiians were always battling against each other for property or island, right?
Oh, the history of Hawaii. I mean, the Kamehameha.
So what me and Jake is doing right now is like pretty much solidifying not just our district, but also our name, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. That's really interesting. Can you tell us more about that? Like, what's it like for, Hawaiians? Just for a little background, because we're just jumping right into the call here. So anybody who's watching this, right? Jake Babian is UNF welterweight, right? He's a big star over there, and he's had a couple pro fights with them. His last fight fell through. The guy he disappeared like 2 days before he was supposed to get in there. The guy was stoked. He still showed up on weight, even though his opponent dropped out. And then he was all ready to go a month later. He stayed in camp. And then I'm not sure what happened with his opponent this time. I really don't know why the fight fell through. And so, he was real bummed out. And then you stepped up. You get the call. I don't know. I guess Ryan Buckner must have found you, right?
No, Mel Venezuela for BYB, who I'm contracted under for bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah.
And he reached out to me, and I thank God that I did not eat anything for Thanksgiving. I kind of had this weird feeling like, I feel like there's someone that's going to reach out to me tomorrow morning. And right now I got to cut 15 freaking pounds, dude. Like, so I went from 15 to 5 pounds left. So it's easy peasy work. The thing about being a professional athlete and being a professional fighter as well, everything comes with it, right? If you are able to show up on weight, if you're able to, accommodate the promotion itself, the promotion will actually accommodate you. So that's the level of respect of being a professional fighter. And that's what I embody as a professional fighter.
You just stay ready.
Always.
Yeah. Incredible, man.
And on top of that, brother, let me tell you, on top of that, we interview a lot of promoters, right? Let me tell you something that you got. I don't know if you know you got it, but you got it. There's two things that promoters say you need to have. One is be able to fight. Like, I watch your highlights and stuff like that, man, you can throw down, right?
Smooth. Very smooth.
Fight you and Jake. Jake's a bad boy too. The second part that you need to be a great fighter is to be able to promote yourself. And you speak fantastic, bro. Your IG's on point, show different angles.
Oh, yeah.
Most fighting. But
nice suits, everything. I love it. Love it. Yeah. Would you say you're more of a bare knuckle guy? That is your main art right now.
Well, no. So that's my secret sauce, right? Like I transitioned to boxing so I can perfect my hands. But really, I'm a Kajukenbo kid. I grew up doing.
Bro, we're like cousins. Our Kajukenbo and Danzanru are like cousins. Yeah. Amazing. I can't wait to see this one.
Yeah, my forte is kicks, and then I started in my Kajukenbo with. So I'm certified under Bang Muay Thai, which is Dwayne Ludwig.
Yeah, Ludwig, right?
That's
so
what
I mix Dutch kickboxing with with Kajukenbo. So I'm like, ooh, the two deadliest stand-up like mixed martial arts in the world, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing about that Hawaiian style. Like the Danzanryu and Kajukenbo, they don't want to go. They're stand-up guys, right? Like it's try to avoid going to the ground. God help you if you do have to go there, you know, to your opponent.
Oh, I love it. So
Yeah.
I've been, like I said, I wasn't just fighting against other districts, and I've been fighting against the biggest people, like the biggest names in Hilo coming out of BJ's gym. Toby Mishek, he fought on BYB. He's a badass fighter. He's also a boxer. I fought against other champions. I believe the other opponent that I fought, his name was Jake as well, but they were all high-level competitors. And when I fought against them, I learned a lot, you know, where I need to perfect, and that was boxing. I was like, okay, now I need to just mix all of this into one, and just into that's the definition of MMA, and mixed martial artist, right? You're not going to be a perfected mixed martial artist if you're just staying to one thing.
And as you're training all these arts, what's your favorite art? I mean, because I know everyone starts at a different level, right? I mean, it's me and the bike can start at different levels. Where do you start? What are you enjoying most as far as training right now, as far as your weapons?
What I enjoy the most is Muay Thai, because my knees and elbows are my weapons. But I started off with BJJ, with BJ Penn. After after I fought like most of his fighters, that's where I was getting at with it.
That's cool.
After his fighters, he welcomed me into his gym, and he was like, "Hey man, you should learn some BJJ and incorporate it with your stand-up." And I'm like, "Okay, sounds great." But yeah, my forte, what I love the most is Muay Thai.
It's cool. Abel, you used to train with BJ Penn in Santa Cruz, right?
Yeah, I trained with BJ about a quarter of a century ago in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, where was it? Perillo's?
No. That was striking. We trained with Claudio Franco in Santa Cruz. This was 5 years ago. There wasn't many Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu locations as there is now.
He's still there. He's still there.
Yeah. So I had to drive 40 train.
Say it again. What'd you say?
I said back then, to go to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they were rare. So at that time, I have to drive 45 minutes to get to the dojo. So it was a long way. Not like there is now that everywhere, which is much more funner, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. Train with your boy.
So you're a stand-up Muay Thai would be, you know, you prefer to stay standing. And I know Jake's a good striker too, but he has said in interviews with us before that his home is on the ground. So he would love to take this one to the ground, I imagine.
I do not mind that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one thing that people has been speculating about is like, hey man, he doesn't have good ground game. Little that you guys know that I grew up on the same island with the freaking three-time champion, world champion, and he's the best BJJ artist that I've met so far, you know. So I can't take that away from him, and I've experienced a lot of different killer moves that I know that I can utilize within this fight. And I'm like, yes, I feel like a kid in a candy store right now that I get to use all my elements, you know?
So how many days ago did you get that call?
I got the call on Sunday.
And ever since you got that call, you started training? Were you watching tape on Jake, or what were you doing? What was it?
That's one thing that I don't do. I don't watch tape on anyone.
Okay.
Interesting.
My trainer's been giving me shit about that lately, but it's a psychological thing. It's more so like, hey, if you're gonna like keep on, my job is to focus on the movement and the techniques, right? My trainer's job is to do the analysis and make sure that this is what you need to expect.
So they watch tape.
Exactly.
That's not uncommon. I've heard of that before.
Yeah, I never do that because it's just stuck in your mind. Next thing you know, you're going to sleep after a training session. You can hardly even go to sleep because you're replaying the fight. That's something that I've pushed away the moment I turned pro, which was 2019.
Gotcha. Well, that's such a different concept. And where'd you get that type of mentality as far as that type of don't study the tape? Because everyone watches tape. I like watching tape on fighters, you know?
Right.
Why did you decide to go that route? Did someone give it to you, or just some type of system you came up with?
Honestly, it's more so of the trust in the process. So I got super deep into the spirituality aspect in LA and stuff, you know, doing Kundalini, doing yoga and all that kind of stuff. And it was more so on not being attached to the materialistic world. So I guess that kind of rubbed off, where it was like, okay, have no attachments to something, because it's always going to create a roadblock, right? And so just let it go instead of forcing it. Everything should be a smooth flow. You know, like
you can't predict. Right. If you go in there predicting like, oh, he's probably going to do this, then what if he doesn't do that? Right. You have to be able to adapt spontaneously to whatever. I think that's the mark of a real true martial artist, is spontaneous response, the ability to handle whatever is thrown at you.
Absolutely. And it's more exciting too, you know, it heightens everything, your awareness. I mean, it's a beautiful, nowadays people fall apart from the mixed martial arts part of it, like the art of it. And instead of like, hey, we're just going to learn this because we want to chase the clout, you know? And that's like something that's a lot of people are detaching themselves from the art itself, you know?
Yeah.
And it's such a shame, but hopefully we can bring it back.
I love to hear it.
Think about it, Kealii. The way that you just express yourself, and Steve will back me up on this, is the way, 40 years back, is the way everyone trained for mixed martial arts, because there wasn't any tape. You just show up and you get to it. Now we're lucky. We get to watch fighters, we get to figure out strategies, stuff like that. But you're still fighting the old way of show up, expect everything, and just be prepared.
That's right.
And that's very, and you know what? I second with that too. And that's the reason why I'm getting shit from my freaking trainer all the time. So it's like best of both worlds, but I'm pretty sure as I improve in either mixed martial arts or even bare knuckle boxing, that I will be able to expand more and just be more open to growth, I guess.
Yeah. I got to say, watching from we've really only seen your IG at this point, and smooth, man. You have a real graceful movement. Seemed like you have very relaxed in there, real relaxed. And I have to say, from what I've seen of Jake too, we haven't actually seen him fight in live at this point, but we watched a bunch of tape on him. He's real smooth too. I have a feeling this is going to be an elegant violence, for
elegant violence. I love the way you just put it. That's amazing. Yes.
I mean, we're so stoked for this one. The fact that you stepped up for this, and it sounds like it's an amazing matchup. Two guys from Hawaii. We could not be more excited. So I know Jake was going to jump on here, but he had something come up last minute. So I know
he's scared, bro. I think Jake got scared.
He's scared. Yeah. But he's great. I'm sure he's grateful too, man. This guy, we saw him last month at the weigh-ins the day after his opponent had disappeared on him, and just to look in his eye, that feeling. You put in all this time in camp, and then the guy bails out for no good reason. He wasn't like injured or anything. He just vanished. What's that?
That happened to me twice. I showed up on weight at 170 before. I used to fight at welter, and I showed up on weight, on point, ready to go, ready to scrap. And my opponent was like, "Oh, I don't think I'll be able to lose that 5 pounds." I'm like, "Bro, I'm the one that's the replacement. Why are you not ready?"
Yeah,
get it.
It's pathetic. I had a boxing match one time, and the guy, the morning of the fight, I was taped up, ready to go, and he wrote, "Oh shit, I forgot I have a rugby match today."
What the fuck?
Yeah. Like,
that was a left turn.
Yeah, and I'm sending him messages. I'm like, "All right, bro, let's do it in the backyard. You owe me a fight. Come on." And he ghosted. So yeah, that's tough. But you guys, the fact that you stay in camp, you stay ready. Jake stayed ready. So this is going to be an absolute spectacular event.
Steve. Me and you would hang out with Jake. We mess around and all that stuff. And watching Kealii's IG and talking to him right now, there's some fights there's some crazy fucking fights, and after that fight, people become good ass friends. This is one of those matchups right here.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Jake is one of those type of dudes that's gonna try to kill you, but after he's like a good ass dude. So I think you guys
that's exactly how I am too. That's why this elegant art, and this is gonna be beautiful. It's a perfect matchup. I mean, he's, like you guys said, he's an up-and-coming star. He's Cali's favorite. And I haven't been around town lately. And he's been, I can see him, I see where he's going at with his professional career. And I take nothing away from the kid. But then again, Has he ever been hit hard? Has he ever been taken down himself? Has he ever been kicked in the face? Some people, when they actually get hit in the face, everything that they know goes out the window, right? I mean, I'm not saying that's who he is.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's how,
He just be hugging people at that point. Yeah.
Exactly.
but it's going to be overall, it's going to be a great fight. And I appreciate him for giving me an opportunity. I appreciate Up Next Fighting for giving me the opportunity.
They're the best.
They're awesome. They're amazing.
Yeah, Up Next Fight, they got their stuff going on, brother. Ryan and Chris Buckner, there's some solid and everyone. I'm telling you what, bro. You're lucky to be in this organization because everyone that comes to fight for them or hangs out with them or just part of this, dude, they are so happy.
Yeah.
They are so happy. They are so pleased. Win or lose, everyone's happy the way they're treated, like the most honorable martial arts in the world, man.
I love that.
You're going to fall in love with these guys. Well, you haven't met them face to face yet, right?
No, but I've talked to them. I've been talking to them on phone every single day. So they're like, yo, the more that we get to know you is like, oh no, we're actually gonna sign you and this and that. And I'm hoping that they will sign me. But at this time, they'll have a contract with BYB, and we'll see how that goes. I want to fight as much as possible next year. I tried to cap it off at least 3 to 4 fights this year. But next year I want to try and hit that mark. I want to try and hit that mark at least 4 fights a year or 5 fights a year. And sometimes with losses, you have to suffer the consequences of being on suspension, right? So that takes away like 2 to 3 months. And I'm like, so I want to keep this ball rolling. After my last
win, this is the momentum's there.
I just want to keep on going, keep on climbing that ladder.
This is I can feel it. It's like building now because UNF had a massive year. This is I think it's like 18 months they've been out. This is their 14th card. You guys are finishing out the year. I think this is probably going to be the most hyped fight of the night.
I love it.
And then next year, I was talking to Chris Buckner this week. The stuff they have planned for next year is unbelievable. UNF is going to be easily on the national map, by the end of this year. And I think you and Jake and all these guys, you're definitely going to be a part of it. And they treat their fighters so well. Every fighter we talk to, they always say like, this is different than most organizations. And you'll see when you show up at the Commerce Casino too. We do a lot of amateur fights around here and some, pro stuff too, like with UNF where it's, a few pros on the card as well. They do it different. They go big. It's a real well put together show. You're going to be under the lights, man.
Yeah. I see the following that they have. It's incredible. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know that Kimbo Slice. I'm friends with mostly all these professional athletes. I've been to the UFC PI. I've been through the Bellator, the roster, and everyone that I know there. And I'm like seeing everyone on our posts, liking our posts and stuff. And I'm like, wow, the exposure that Up Next Fighting has, it's incredible. So
they're going for it.
Production, everything bring in. They give a lot of people opportunities to come in and shine and grow with them, brother.
They gave us that opportunity, We just hit them up like, hey, we're a podcast. We want to put the shine on the up and coming fighters. And they were like, we love what you're doing. Let's work together, So they see the talent and they move on it,
Correct. Absolutely.
Let me show you something. Tell me what goes through your mind when you see this. Because this is my favorite clip of you.
Me and Ben.
Watch this.
I love Rich. Hey, by the way, me and Rich had a talk in the back, and he was like, "Hey guys, save it for the fight. Save it for the fight." I'm like, "Nah, bro. I'm about to scrap right now in this parking lot in this hotel." Like me and Ben was going like head to head the whole time after that weigh-in, and we're outside. I'm surprised no one followed us outside and caught us on camera because we're like going back and forth, like, "Yo, what's up? Let's scrap right now." But that was a good matchup. He reached out to me. And I took that fight on a 4-day notice, and I lost 34 pounds. 34 pounds on a 4-day notice in 1 week. I had to cut that weight, and so my body, you can see it in my jawline and everything. I fought at 170 at that time, and oh my God, that was the worst weight cut that I've actually experienced.
How's this one going?
This is amazing. Yeah, I'm floating.
You were already
like floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, and that's how I need to be,
It's not a 170 fight, this one?
Nah, 180.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, if it was 170, I would have been like, fuck no. Chick Rock does. Yeah, I'm trying to eat turkey, you know?
I'm with you on that, bro. I'm with you. So what are you saying now right now?
I think we lost him. Here, let's see if he jumps back on.
Yeah, I'm back on.
I love this guy.
Now I'm watching this IG, man. He's got it going on. Everything that he's showing, everything that he's training about. It's just everything about him is fucking fantastic. He's on the beaches. You know, he's training people, all ages, training them how to fight. You know, he's just having a good time in life.
This is the opponent a guy like Jake deserves. You know?
This is the type of opponent they both deserve, Viking.
Yeah.
They both deserve this type of opponent. They're both fun. They're both strong, powerful. They both bring a name. Everyone that's going to watch them is going to love both of these guys, you know?
Yeah.
There's some fighters out there.
Hey, guys.
We're talking about you, bro. But we're saying there's some fighters that the matchups come up and you just know you're going to love both of these fighters.
Like from more so the audience standpoint, or like
as an audience, as a spectator.
Right.
Well, bro, let me tell you, Jake is probably the biggest fan favorite out here, bro. So you're coming out and taking on the fan favorite, bro. That means you guys are gonna get to share some fans. You know, you're gonna take some of his fans with you too. You know.
Hey, I'm trying to take everyone's fans. I'm trying to take over this show little by little. I'm just sprinkling a little bit there. You know.
Share your fans.
So who I'm really going after, to be honest, is the opponent that I lost to. And I've taken this fight on a very, very bad situation. I had no training, and also I was going through a lot in December of last year.
Yeah.
I ended up ODing, and like I had to change my life, but I was still under rehabilitation. Mm-hmm. And I got offered a fight with Curtis Millender, which is here in Costa Mesa. And
but he's with UNF now, right?
Yes, he is. See where I'm going, right? So I'm like, okay. So I lost to him on an unfortunate situation because I was going through rehabilitation at that time, but I still took the fight regardless. I don't really care because that's what I do. I'm just going to test myself amongst the great. Yeah. I won't be able to be the best if I'm not being the best, right? Like no matter what the situation is, I'm still going to step up. But my game plan right now, I mean, I'm not trying to talk down on Jake because he's an incredible fighter, and I'm pretty sure he is. But I'm trying to move on to the next, so that way I can challenge Curtis again. I want that belt. I want him. That's who I want. I want Curtis Millender, 100%.
Is that your next call out right there? What are you going to say on that?
That is definitely my next call out. And if he's going to be there, I'll definitely hop out of the ring, go right up into his face and face off. Or he can walk into the ring and we'll do the face off. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. I would say both. Fuck it. Outside, face him outside too.
Exactly. I mean, he's cool. He's super dope, you know, but like in this world, especially in combat sports, it's business, you know. It's friends, we can shake hands after, get a drink after, throw it back, you know. But right now, I have a family that I have to take care of. I have people back home in Hawaii that suffered a lot, and that's who I'm actually taking my proceeds, and I'm actually taking all the money that I get from my purse and helping my family back home on Maui. So that's what my goal is at the end of the day.
So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, love to hear it, man.
That's a good thing. You know, one of the things I noticed also, you know, the only thing about the Hawaiian Spirit Brothers is we're givers, right? When we're giving men, it's a different level of happiness, right? Like you talked earlier, it's not about materialism, you know, not about stuff. I also noticed that you just got baptized, you know. You want to talk about that? What took you there?
Absolutely. So when I moved to downtown, or when I moved to Studio City, I moved to the mainland after I met my beautiful ex-wife, and she's been an anchor in my life, and she's taught me a lot, you know, spiritually. That way I can work on the things that I need to work on, even through the trauma that I've gone through growing up on the Big Island. Like where I grew up, we didn't have anything. We didn't even have sports at our school because there was so much fights. Like every single sport was canceled in my year. Everything was canceled.
What year was
fights? I'm sorry?
What year was that? What year did you graduate? 2000 what?
2009.
2009. Okay.
Yeah. And I was going
How old are you, brother? How old are you?
32.
Okay.
32 years old, guys.
Mm-hmm. And so you about the trauma, about everything being canceled, all sports. Because you think about it, I'm going to tell you, I understand exactly what you're paying as far as not being able to play sports. You know, was that your junior year or your senior year?
Wait, sorry, not to cut you off, Abel. I'd like you to finish that idea though. With your first question before, what led you to ended up, getting baptized this year and that path.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Correct. No, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And God was shining down just now, and he was like, "Hey, let him finish the story about baptized." So, after the trials and tribulations that I went through after December 18th, and I OD'd, I changed my life from there. I was like, look, I don't need this. Why? If I have the strength in order to cut weight and watch what I'm eating and not even eat sometimes for like 3 days straight, why don't I have that capacity, that level of being able to push that away, whatever addiction it is. So I started putting myself into church. I started putting myself into AA meetings, and there's a lot of biblical talk in AA meetings. So that's what sparked my interest of going back to church. And then when I went back to church, everyone in the group, they were like, "Hey man, you should be a leader." And I'm like, well, I don't feel fit in order to be a leader if I feel like I haven't cleansed myself, right? So they're like, "Hey man, there's a baptism coming up this weekend. You want to do it?" And I'm like, "Shit, I'm here for it. Let's go." So that's how it started.
And this was early this year, right?
Correct.
What day was it? April what?
April 17th.
April 17th. So that's a new birthday.
That's a new birthday. It's crazy because my daughter is in April. My ex-wife was in April. My other ex-wife back home in Hawaii was in April. And I'm like surrounded about like a lot of Aries kids or April kids, or people. But yeah, I mean, yes, that's going to be my new birthday every single year.
Right on. That's a good thing. Well, we know from that lesson, the April women are not good wives for you. So we got to pick a different month.
Yeah. You need some Scorpios going forward now. Yeah.
Hey, I did not know how deep people are into astrology until I moved to Hollywood, and everything was about astrological signs. Like, "Hey man, what's your sign?" First thing, some guy walked up to, "Hey man, I think you're a Capricorn." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, I am a Capricorn, by the way." Oh fuck. But yeah. It's different. In Hawaii, there's not really that much of zodiac signs. It's just pretty much of the goddesses.
Different spirituality, right?
Yeah, different religion.
Were you raised with some of the Hawaiian spirituality?
I am. And so it's funny that you talked about Hawaiian mixed martial arts. Mm-hmm. And there's a genealogy that dates back into Kamehameha, King Kamehameha the Great. And he ended up being transported to Waipio Valley, which is the Valley of the Kings. And the Valley of the Kings were a great warrior named Kekoa. And Kekoa was the person that raised King Kamehameha and taught him the art of lua, which is Hawaiian mixed martial arts. Mm-hmm. And that that person, Kekoa, is my great-great-grandfather.
Oh.
So you're a direct descendant of the hereditary lineage that passed on lua. Not a lot of people know that in the West. So I know it because I'm a Danzan Ryu guy. So there's some lua, and I've been to lua seminars. And man, I know it's baked into Kajukenbo too. A lot of the techniques that we learned that came from lua, it's standing, bone breaking, grappling, nasty arm locks, and just some of the nastiest arm breaking stuff that I have ever seen.
That is true.
That's incredible. You're right out of that lineage. Man, I cannot wait to see this in the cage.
It's going to be awesome. I know. It's like, I don't really talk too much about it because a lot of people boast about, oh, okay, I drive this big or I drive this Lamborghini. I have this big house, right? And all this kind of stuff. And I'm just a silent assassin, you know, and I don't need to show it. I mean, I don't need to talk it. I just need to show it.
Yeah, it's more about the people that you came from and you represent your culture. It's not about me, you know?
Exactly.
That is a mark of a martial artist. I love to see this.
Well, that's a beautiful Hawaii. You know, Steve. That's one of the things we love so much about Hawaiians, right? It's always a giving, loving, honorable, powerful culture. The men are like us, and that's why we love Hawaii so much. So we found out when the Viking told me, "Hey, Abel, there's another Hawaiian coming to fight Jake." I was like, "What, bro?"
Shit.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome, guys. I love it.
Well, brother, you know, you got your weight cut. We don't want to keep you too long. I know you got a couple days to go here. I tell you, we are stoked. I know the whole UNF team is stoked. This is going to be.
Yeah, I actually have Melvin Farmer and I'm not too sure if you guys know who the real Rick Ross is.
Yeah,
like the real Rick Ross.
The actual,
yeah. I'm being scouted from him, and so they will be there in attendance. He's actually texting me right now. I just saw his text. No,
we'll make sure to interview him while we're there. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna throw that out there just so that, you know, if you guys wanted to, there's going to be some big name celebrities there too as well, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more. But yeah, I can't wait.
Well, brother, after the fight,
awesome.
If you want to come on a podcast with him, you know, since he's scouting you, once he, you know, signs you up and all that stuff, you guys want to come on? Both of you come on. Okay. You know, talk about your partnership. The more we can lift you up, the better, brother. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Just before we let you go, so we got Kealii Kaneoka, right? I said it correctly. Sorry, I don't mean to butcher your name, right?
Kaneoka.
Kealii Kaneoka. Shout out your IG.
It's okay. It's all good.
Sorry, brother. Yeah. Shout out your IG for everybody so they can follow you.
It's all good. Yes, sir. Hi, guys. My name is Kealii Kaneoka, and my IG handle is Diamond Dynasty MMA.
Diamond.
Follow me, please.
Brother, look forward after the fight, watching you and Jay drink beer. Win or lose, you guys both going to come up.
Great.
I'm proud of you, brother.
Make sure to
everything you've done is past year. The world is watching you, man. Shine.
Come see us after, win or lose. We'll do an interview afterwards. We're going to be doing post-fight interviews. UNF 14, December 2nd, Commerce Casino. Thank you for stepping up for this. So, Abel, I'm Steve, Viking of the West. Thank you again, Kealii. We're going to see you and Jake Babian in that cage, shining for us with that Hawaiian style, baby.
Thank you both, gentlemen. You guys have a great night.
All right, brother.
Thank you,
Let's
brother.
go.
Thank
Much
you.
respect.